My dogs are excited about something. Blue! Now we're out in open air, so you might hear planes fly by, cars drive down the road, things like that. But behind me, and this screen is not made for outdoors, but this room is not going to be completely outdoors eventually. Anyways, this screen behind me is Elite Screen Spectrum screen. This is part one. So if you're looking for projector test videos on it, wait for that. That's going to come later, and I'll upload something as soon as we get that going. Enough about that. This isn't going to actually be a test of it, but I do want to cover some things for the consumers interested in this screen. Now, the Spectrum series here, this Motorized Spectrum series, comes out of the box saying that it is ready for install for flush mounting. If you needed to hang it or something, there's an L bracket kit that costs about $22. You get some chains for it. You can hang it from the ceiling. You can do additional reinforced support like that, and that might be the better option to go with. One of the most disappointing things I've seen in a product in a long time is the fact that this screen did come ready for flush mounting, but in one of the jankiest, most wonkiest ways I've ever seen, and I definitely just want to make sure that people are aware of that before they get it. One of the problems that we have here is that the wall is actually 1/4 inch drywall, and something I didn't know before I actually started drilling through it, but regardless whether it's 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, you will notice that they give you this. These little plastic wall anchors, and these serve no one any real good purpose. This screen weighs approximately 60 to 68 pounds. It is a pretty large screen from side to side, and you have one wall anchor mount on either side with a keyhole flush to put into the wall. It doesn't matter if these are really heavy duty wall anchors right here. Over time, it's going to pull on drywall, and eventually your screen's going to sag, hang, and cause problems to the drywall, ultimately damaging the drywall. I think this is probably one of the worst quick flush wall mount hanging applications they could have included with this screen, and I want everybody else to kind of know that too if you decide to go with this, and this is what you're going to get if you don't know what to expect. It's literally one on each side with a flush keyhole mount. So you'll put the wall anchor in, put the screw in, leave it out a little bit, and then put it on a keyhole on either side. That just almost instantly cause problems on 1/4 inch drywall, and it would likely cause problems on 1/2 inch drywall as well. So before I complain about that too much, what we ended up doing is getting these. These are 68-pound test, and you can pick these up at a hardware store for like $1 for a 4-pack. And you essentially just screw these into the wall, self-drilling plastic anchor hangers. I'll focus on them better in just a minute. And then, put this in. And they definitely held to the wall a lot better in this 1/4 inch drywall especially. We also got a little extra cautious and drilled up into a cabinet brace just to give it a little extra support just in case. That's me. You don't have to do that. These actually held really well, 68-pound test on either side, and you should be fine. 1/4 inch drywall held it way better, because as soon as I tried it with those anchors, I immediately had sag, pull, and damage to the drywall, so I had to move it up a little bit and sort of pivot my plan. So let's talk about this screen real quick. Now, it is a motorized screen by Elite Screens. It costs about $250-ish. So it does come with a remote, and this little IR remote right here is pretty straightforward. You have up, and you have down, and you have stop. Up, down, and stop. If we wanted to take the screen up, it's as simple as hitting the button. It takes approximately 20-ish to 25 seconds in order to go all the way up. You can put it back down. Now I'll go down a pretty decent ways too. You'll have the black bar at the top in case you're hanging from a higher position. But we can also stop it wherever we want. It's almost an instantaneous stop as long as you're pointed at the IR receiver, which is nice because you don't want to hit it and then wait for it to stop and try to have to figure out where you want it to stop every time. Something I wish that it would do would have the ability to learn that stop position, because once you figured out how you want to do your projector, it would be nice that this button was just I've already positioned it, let me hit this button and it'll go right to that spot every time. That'd be great. Maybe something they can implement in the further future. So let's take a look at a few other things too. Again, this is not going to be any screen test this time. There will be a part 2 to this where I do some screen tests with it. And we'll get more into that. But let's go look at a few things about it real quick. This whole area is not finished yet. That dog is about to drive me crazy. Let me go kick her in the butt real quick, and then we'll look at a few other things. So real quick, let's cover what comes with it as well. You also have something that you can hang on the wall that does the same thing that the remote does. You have your up, your down, and your stop button. And it has an IR sensor itself, so it needs to be within range or the ability to see the IR receiver on the actual projector screen itself if you go with the motorized version. You do have the option ability for control, which you can use if you have a compatible projector. The kit does not come with it, but if you wanted to expand that somehow, you can go online. I think even Elite Screen sells that as well. You have hangers so that you can hang this or mount this on the wall. You also have hangers so that you can mount this on the wall or onto a, I don't know, something wooden that you might have that you would put your remote into. It's just a remote seat, that's all it is. I'll probably not use it. I'll probably not even use this. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use this at all. And that's pretty much what it comes with. That's about it. Other than the hangers I showed you that I don't recommend using to actually mount it into the drywall itself. So I don't know how well you can see this right here, but it came packaged and dented. And the thing is, it doesn't affect the screen at all and how the screen works, but mine actually did come dented. I'm not the person that's gonna make a huge stink about it, but it is something that's probably gonna be problematic for some people, especially if it's a showpiece that you have in your home theater setup. So just little dent, that's all it is really. Little dent, doesn't affect it, didn't even really notice it much at first. Now of course I notice it because I see it all the time when I look at it. But in my case, and in my situation, in no way does it affect the screen or the screen's ability to retract or go up. The screen looks fine, everything else looked great. Now, there's a lot of standards of projector screens, but I went with one of the most common form standards that I wanted for my everyday practical use, which is a 16:9, 1.1 gain. Lower is better when it comes to gain on projector screens. At about the far end of beginner to almost intermediate level with the Spectrum series by Elite screens. You'll notice that there's all kinds of stuff out there, and it just depends on what sort of projector you're using. So let's go ahead and just mention that real quick. If you're using a short throw or ultra short throw projector and you want a screen for it, then the best thing that you can do is get something that's ALR or more designed specifically for ultra short throws or short throws. ALR is ambient light reduction, and that's something that's going to be a lot more helpful to them, as well as something with tab tensioning. Tab tensioning helps to keep the screen as smooth and flat as possible, because short throws and ultra short throws are going to be more prone to having keystone correction issues. You're going to see distortion, almost like a distorted image. So tab tension really helps with that flat, smooth surface. It could potentially work well on that screen. I don't know. You can't tell me I can't try it, and I'm going to. But for the most part, when it comes to my ultra short throws, I don't really use screens for them because I'm an average consumer user, not looking to blow you out of the water with some giant awesome theater setup. This is going to be our 110-inch screen. It's by Elite Screens, the Spectrum series, and it costs roughly about $250. Now, the 100-inch variant of it costs about $186, so if you don't need that extra 10 inches, then there you go. Anyways, guys, that's really pretty much it for now. That's part one of our projector screen. We'll do part two where we actually look at some stuff on it. I do have projectors I could test on it, but they're all not really supported by the screen. The screen is not made for ultra short throw projectors, which is what I have. So when we get our other projector, we can really kind of get a good feel for it, hopefully, and show you something nice. Anyways, part one, we have more to come. We're working on that room, trying to make it something that's pretty nice for doing more videos in as well. Anyways, guys, have a great day, night, whatever it is. I'll see you in the next video I do.